veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. I've been driving this train, Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh. Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I
Yeah, people, that was a disastrous start to the show. A lot happened. I had to reschedule the show. Actually, this wasn't the one scheduled initially. That one stopped just a few seconds into it. I'm not sure what I set up. I didn't set up right, but it's okay. We're still here. I nearly said, you know what, to heck, no show today, but I'm glad I pushed on, and we are here right now. More importantly, I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. It's another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I hope you all are doing well as usual. Please keep dropping the likes on the same people. We're 9 minutes into the show and we have just 5 likes. I don't blame you guys because, yeah, the other show ended prematurely. Not my fault, not yours. But we're here now, and I have away with Julius. Good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. And then we have the CEO of Chelsea FC, Jingles, in the house. He's saying good morning, Coach, and everyone in the community. Good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And we have Adube Lama too. Hope you're okay. I'm glad you pushed on as well. Yeah, I was pissed, really. I have to say the truth because I don't know how I prepared the research started the show in a few seconds. It just ended itself. I wasn't sure what happened, but it was easy. The software retained the information for the other show. I just had to delete the old one and go ahead with this one. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Yep, we'll talk about Enzo Maresca, let's say, and then we'll talk about Georgi Petrovic, some news, Romeo Lavia, his comments about the new manager, and then shirt sponsor, and then Benjamin Sheshko, anything else there, and then a lot about Enzo Maresca. We start learning quite a lot about him. Hopefully, this doesn't turn off again. I'm seeing a signal telling me that my camera is low. My internet connect download speed and upload speed is low. I'm not sure why that is the case. Um, but more importantly, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along where we have 7 likes and 7 people watching. I knew that that will most definitely affect the viewership, the views on the show. But let's see. We'll push on. It doesn't matter. Sometimes we have to take one for the team. Let's see what we have here. I have to redo this. I thought I already did. Give me 1 second. It's more like starting afresh, but we'll get there. Give me 1 second here. Entire window. This guy here. All right. I just hope this doesn't go off again. So let's start discussing the items we have lined up here. The first one here talks about Enzo Maresca to Chelsea, almost there, and that's Chelsea Dodgers quoting Fabrizio Romano. We're getting there. It's getting closer and closer and closer. I get it. There was a report, maybe you could call it a contradicting report, suggesting that Maresca himself, um, that's if anything, if he sees anything he doesn't like, he may well decide to remain at Leicester City and not join Chelsea Football Club. But I'm glad he's coming, and I'm going to say this again. I think I said it 1,000 times yesterday. For me, he's my preferred candidate of between him and Roberto De Zerbi. De Zerbi plays, you could say, he employs a very risky approach. You could argue that he hasn't perfected his craft. Still, it's a very unorthodox method, you could call that, with a lot of flaws that he had to refine before the biggest names in terms of clubs will start looking at him as their manager. But for Enzo Maresca, he plays with a balanced approach, doesn't risk too much. Yep, he's an attacking minded manager, but at the same time, he's usually defensively cautious, avoiding risking too much when the team attacks. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have 59 people watching, but only 13 on YouTube. That's because of the issue, the false start we had, but we're still going to push on anyway. So I'm hopeful. I hope he does well. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are complaining. They aren't happy. Some are already saying he's gonna fail. Why, I don't know. And I told them, even if you hire an elite manager, it doesn't matter. You can say, what's the language I'm looking for? The status of the manager you hire. They all carry some measure of risk. So I don't know why they're complaining. I was thinking that maybe, given the fact that Vincent Company will become Bayern Munich's next manager, that will lead to people understanding that things have changed. But Enzo Maresca to Chelsea, it's happening. All we can do, whether you like the decision or not, is support our club. If you really do love the club, you just have to show it now. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Yes, we had a false start, but we're here. That will lead most likely, and I'm not too sure, to low view, but sometimes you just have to take one for the team. Hello to you too, Vic, my bro. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Maresca to Chelsea is good business. I think so too. I'm not happy. Even when I realized, when I looked at the names of other people that were on the list at the time, I wasn't happy. But I've taken my time to think about it, taking a step back to think about it, and realizing we're actually making a good decision. And hopefully, he hits the ground running. There won't be needed to make any changes as in the near future. Not as soon as we've made changes in between the managers that have worked under the new ownership. McKenna is overrated. That's your opinion. For me, I think it's good business. I hope he does well. And I believe he'd do well, in my opinion. Look what he was able to achieve with Leicester City, even though he was ill-equipped. A team depleted because they got relegated. A lot of their best players left the club. from the one that joined. One of them joined Tottenham. What's his name again? The number 10 guy. Then the other one joined Newcastle United. There's your Talisman who joined Aston Villa. A few of them. So give him credit. A lot of people will tell you he's a championship manager. No, I've heard somebody say he won the championship with a Premier League team. No, have you forgotten how many players they lost because they got relegated? Um, but that's by the way, and if they got relegated, that tell you that they're a Premier League team. But that's by the way, Bobby. Big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let's hear you if you want to come in right now. But thank you so much for also finding the time to join. More importantly,
You
and I
streaming at
appreciate that.
well, it's a pleasure for me. I see you streaming, and automatically I just if I'm able to, I hop on. We go back a long way, and
True, true, true.
you're one of the few people that one day I would be prepared to actually meet up with, especially when I get my health a bit more sorted. Because I
Hopefully,
should be in
hopefully,
the States by the end of the year, but I don't know what part of the States you're in. But
hopefully. I'm in Las
uh,
Vegas. Just hit me up. Just hit me up.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Anyway, look, at the moment, this Chelsea appointment, which really, I mean, it looks like Enzo Maresca for sure, because there's talks going on in Marbella as we speak, or
Mhm.
they've probably concluded now. But this Chelsea appointment has completely caught the attention of the entire world football base. There's no country in the world where their top journalists are not talking about this. It's in because it's so interesting, it's so bold, and it's so brave, and you've got to admire that. This new ownership is trying to reshape the club to true self-sustainability, and it's never easy making these sort of massive, innovative changes. You've got to admire that. I think I posted something in our on your DM platform that we share with other people from the Chelsea perspective family.
Mhm.
Um, I posted that. Look, we have this group of fan base that try to push the narrative that it's us, the fans, against the ownership. That's ridiculous. Ultimately, we're all Chelsea. Ultimately, these people, in fact, are even more Chelsea. They put their money where their mouth is, and they put their neck out, and they're actually actively doing something to reshape the direction of the club, rather than just sitting behind a keyboard and criticizing and moaning about everything and anything, and name calling. We have to be calm and watch this unfold. I don't know if it's going to work. Nobody does. But I would rather see people boldly try something. I mean, these guys haven't hidden. The sporting directors know that all eyes are on them for this choice. Everybody know they don't hide. They boldly step out and do something. I have nothing but respect and admiration for that. It shows you have the courage of your conviction, and it shows confidence. And I don't know what Maresca is going to be about. I've never watched his managerial career. I'm just even um, looking at
Yeah,
clips.
I think we'll learn a lot about him this morning. We have
Oh
some stuff.
yeah, do you know what? We'll learn a lot about him when he takes the job,
A
and
lot more.
please
Yeah.
God, he lasts a season and beyond. Then we'll start to really know what he's about. But it's new for everybody. It's new for him. It's new for world football to see Chelsea in this way. And I one of the things I admire in him is his desire for the job. He knows he's walking into a big job. This is no picnic. This is one of if this is exponentially one of the biggest jobs in world football, regardless of whether they've recruited the best young talents in world football. In fact, the mere fact that they've done that throws down a gauntlet of challenge. And the fact that he's so keen to walk into that arena says a lot about the kind of man he is and the confidence he has. You've got to be a confident man, a strong man, to lust after that sort of position unfailingly. Fabrizio Romano says this guy is absolutely, you know, riveted to the pursuit of getting the Chelsea job. So whether he's the right person or not, to me, that's the first tick of approval. That guts. I like brave people. I like people that stand up and be counted. And I'm sure this is what is needed. Will he succeed? I pray he does when if and when he takes the job. He will certainly have my prayer. Um, but we have to admire what's going on, and we've got to be less prone to just attack, attack, attack. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, this. Oh, woe is the club is finished. Oh, there's one platform I really had to respond to. Saying things like, "Oh, Chelsea are going to sell all their academy players. Oh, the club is going to." We don't know yet. Let's not start courting negativity. Let's just be calm, be patient, look at this objectively. Yes, there are positive sides. Yes, there are negative sides. Will we have a difference of opinion? Of course, absolutely. Some people are saying, "Hey, look, I have no faith in this." There's nothing wrong with that. It is a scary prospect. People are saying, "Hey, look, I don't personally believe in this, but whatever, we're still Chelsea." Fine. I don't mind any of personally. I'm just speaking for myself here. I'm not telling people what to do. Let me just make that clear. But I don't, from my personal point of view, I don't mind those sort of comments, even if it's different to what I say. But what concerns me is when there's this attack. Oh, Bowley, Clown Lake, yada yada. Oh, they don't. It becomes divisive. So let's wait and see. It's scary times, it's unknown times, it's uncharted territory. But as I always used to say to my staff back in the day, to this day, adrenaline is what you use to go forward. When you're afraid or when you're nervous, it's a good thing. But what the best people do and most successful people do is they know how to channel that energy into what they're doing. Definitely in sport, definitely in any walk of life, having the ability to channel things that you look a bit scary, even if you can't control it. I am a firm believer that if you have that mental attitude towards, hey, look, this is a situation over something I care about, I can't control it, it's unknown, they're taking a risk, but I will take that concern I have and support them in a positive way. It does a lot of good. I'm very spiritual. I believe in the spirituality of life, and I think that anything that we see in the physical always has a spiritual beginning, and
Yeah,
that's
and in
just
all
me.
honesty, irrespective of what we think about the situation, we can't change it. So
No, we can't.
we're left with nothing but to support our club. Give just support him. We can't change it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
that's it. Screaming from now to whenever, if you feel like he's gonna get fired till he gets fired, doesn't make any difference. But go ahead with what you're saying, Bobby.
Yeah, and honestly, sorry, but we do have to keep reiterating this point because it is happening. The funny thing now is that the journalists, the
Hmm.
mainstream media journalists, are more intrigued and supportive of this move than the Chelsea fan base. Everybody's watching. Crikey, what's Chelsea doing here? Oh, is this really a bad move? This could be revolutionary. Everybody's intrigued. And one thing I will say, the problem with always complaining is when there is something to really complain about, nobody listens to you anymore because it's all wallpaper. You're always making noise, so who cares? You know what I mean? If, please God, it doesn't happen, there is a problem, then people that have shown objectivity and support, when they speak, then you'll know, right, okay, something's really happened to Ryle coach, or something's really happened to Ryle Roger, or Bobby or so and so. You know what I mean? Or DJ or whoever that
Mm.
always supports the club. So, you know, we need to stop this constant moaning about everything, even when things haven't happened. We're moaning and crying, and nah, it becomes tedious. So let's wait and see. We can't change it. We can't help it. They have our support. Pochettino, I remember on this platform, I didn't want him. I always said it. I came up with the Spursy thing, and it was you that calmed me down. You said, "Hey, Bobby, okay, he is a Spursy. He was from Spurs, but let's not look at that. Let's just look at him now as Chelsea." And I was like, "Fine, okay." Once he was signed with Chelsea, I went with him and I continued supporting him until the debacle of the Caribou Cup. Then I let rip. To this day, I'm still incandescent about that because he threw away such an opportunity for whatever level of prestige that would have given us. So that's when I believe people can moan and whinge when there's something to moan about. But even then, because of his performance at the end of the season, I was very happy to see him continue in the job. It was a surprise to me, as with everybody else, when it all ended. So let's support our club. Let's be a bit more pragmatic and objective about situations that we can't change.
Yep, open-minded, accommodating. I think it will go a long way for us because
Absolutely.
after all, we can't change the situation irrespective of how we feel. I'm going to come back to the panel in a bit. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. 20 likes, and we are 26 minutes into the show. We had a false start, but it looks like things will fix itself. People are finding this particular show. Incoming coach Enzo Maresca will be given time and patience as long as he produces a base level performance and does not rock the boat too much with the club's hierarchy. Yeah, it's common sense. It just show that progress, you're making progress. Again, let alone be it there are certain factors that is causing issues. Then yeah, it's understandable. Just I think I hope it works out, and I believe it will work out. Work out. And I'm concerned. I'd be lying if I say to you that I'm not concerned. But I just have to tell you the truth. Tillisman and Madison, yeah, they lost a lot of players, and still he nearly ran away with the championship. Big up to you too, Willie. Bless, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Siyaka, South Africa, my bro. Greetings to you, all of football club fans. I am so glad that Chelsea FC players are being called for their national soccer teams. Yeah, Euros, a lot of them will be going, and then we'll talk about a few that will be going. Tango Rito, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I love the appointment that you know so chosen. Is my preference. Yeah, I think like as I've explained before, the Zervi, as entertaining as his approach is, I think it's a high risk approach. It's unorthodox, given that it's very unique, but he hasn't perfected it yet. It has a lot of flaws. But in the case of Enzo Maresca, it's a known approach. Frustrating the opposition by keeping the ball as much as possible, and also inviting wing backs and fullbacks, plus being cautious, picking and choosing when to attack and not risking too much defensively. I give him credit. In all honesty, I know people are saying how many goals they concede. You have to go look with the quality of the players he played with in the championship. Yeah, I think he will do a football manager. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. And CFC Jingles is in the house. Big up to you. Good morning. Our legendary Bobby, he says. Let's see, Italian tacticians on point, and we've been lucky with them. They've been our lucky charm. So I'm going to give them. You can say I'm just going to stay hopeful and keep praying that it works out. He will resuscitate Chelsea defensively and economically. Wow, some comment there. Um, uh, but let's see. Can Enzo Maresca speak English so that the players that can understand? He does. He speaks English. Yep, he does. He does speak English. If you haven't, you heard him. I think there's a video where he's explaining his tactics. I think you should go find it on YouTube. I don't have the link right now. So yeah, tell him. And I said, you know what to do. And Wiz Paparazzi Bits. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Big up to you too. And Mr. Marcelo, it looks like you're a troll indeed. I'm not sure what you're doing. Yeah, thank you everyone in the chat. And Wally Waldo is in the house. And OG here. No, we don't, Marcel. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he's just trolling. Tiba Salifa is in the house, and Tiba Salifa says Chelsea fans are like a mid-Rossi who say Maka is going to allow owners to fully make us a feeder club. I'm mad because what Houston, I just don't want to go ahead. Listen, sometimes I've written an open letter to the big accounts, the specific to the big accounts with regards to how they peddle nonsense, engineer nonsense. Sometimes uh, you can say shove it off the throat of their followers. I don't think they understand the power of you could say of the sort of the number of followers they have. They cause problems, but it's up to them. I think one day they will find out that it doesn't last forever when you're not being truthful with again. I don't know how to phrase this to come across effectively. When you misuse the power you have, it will come back to haunt you someday. I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, um, it's the way again their brand is. That's how they make money. That's how they get followers, and it's working for them. So they're going to continue until maybe it fails to serve the purpose that they believe it's been serving for them. Maybe that's when they learn something. So I don't have an issue with them. They go ahead and do whatever works for them. Anything else to address it? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, I just don't want to read it. I just don't want to go into that territory. Let everybody be on their own. I don't want to say what comes to mind. Please, let's just talk this. Let's just have a good discussion this morning. You can say we will be like a Dortmund or Leipzig because we buy players for 50 million and less than 1% of a transfer ever go above 50%. So these kills all the narrative about us being a feeder club. Exactly, exactly. That's a delicious comment right there. But I'm quite sure those guys that are you can say are doing the stuff you talked about. I think they're smarter than I think they're very smart. They're just doing what they believe. They're just telling their followers what they believe they want to hear. But we're here to talk Chelsea Football Club and not them. So we have to move on as soon as possible. Maresca won 36 out of 53 matches with Leicester City, not including draws. Yeah, not bad. Given the fact again, we're going to go back to talking about how he lost Leicester City's most important players because they got relegated. One of them. Why can I not remember his name? Madison, who joined Tottenham, and then Tillesman, who joined Aston Villa. There's also the other guy that joined Newcastle United. What's his name? Harvey Baines. Those are big name players. Those are the core of the Leicester City team in the Premier League at the time. It's very risky with Maresca, honestly, because he hardly played youth at Leicester City. Um, yeah, if again our team in general, it's comprised of young players in total. So whoever comes on is youth. So I'm not sure how else to phrase that. I don't think we'll have issues with that. But let's see what happens. I just want him to do well. However, if he knows what to do well, just do it. I don't care who he plays and who he doesn't play. I'm quite sure that he will always select the best players to represent Chelsea on the pitch. And I'm going to stick with that. Alexander, yo to you too. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join this particular morning. Anything else that's Vic responding to what Tiva is saying there? Anything else? Nothing new. And we have a virtual oath studios saying, let's see what that says here. His Pep's a former assistant, so maybe similar football to Ateta and Pep, maybe. But more importantly, people saying that he has no Premier League experience. I don't think he'd be Pep's assistant if it's not good, if he doesn't have something good to offer to Pep Guardiola. And by the way, he won the treble with them. You can't take that away from him. So let that sink in. But a lot of people wouldn't want to talk about that. My boss, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. He says, I think the Maresca system will suit our players, and hopefully the squad will be fully fit under Maresca. I hope so. I hope so. Then we'll find out if really the reason why we had too many players injured at the same time was down to the manager's training regimen, if that makes sense. Good afternoon to you, to John Hand. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. He's not here yet. They're probably at work. Casade was used as the box to box midfielder that he is really, and Casade maybe we'll get a chance under him, but we don't know. We'll find out. I meant the reason why we brought back Casade was because he hardly no, I don't think so. I think he played an ample amount of game. I think we brought him back because we needed more players. We had a lot of injury issues at the time. Casade played even more when indeed he got injured. I think he played enough, given his age. He played an ample amount of games for them, in my opinion. And I think he got 2 goals in total or one. So I'm not quite sure how Maresca is going to integrate the youth into the team. I'm That's the list of my concern. Just let him do well. And Collington is saying part of being a fan is to question the club owners when they when they make irrational decisions and not pretend everything is okay. Don't we have the right to let our voice be heard? Nobody is questioning you can say your right as a fan. No, but there's a way you do it. Then it'd be too much. It'd be you can say what's the language I'm looking for? It will declare that you're not being truthful, you're not being logical. We have to question them. Fans will always be fans, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about that. You see people here critique the owners in an objective way without over name calling or overdoing it. That's where the issues lie. If you get my point, nobody's saying no. I question them. I don't think you say I will tell you the mistakes they've made that I don't like, but I don't dwell on them, because if I dwell on them, then I won't even you can say dedicate. I won't even have the energy to support my club anymore. I'd waste my energy talking about the mistakes they've made that I know they cannot be corrected. I'm only looking forward to the future. That's the point here. Nobody is condemning anybody. You have every right to come and say that they don't know what they're doing, that you feel like they're leading us to they're gonna lead us cause us to get relegated. You have every right to argue that. But what's not okay is you not believing they've done anything right. That you have every right to think actually that's the case. But when you do it objectively. But when someone else comes and says, "I think you're wrong," listen to that person. But it'd be wrong when you say you think they're gonna get us relegated, and when someone else says, "I don't think that's the case," you start fighting the person and not listen to that what the person has to say. If that makes sense. So nobody's saying no. That's what fans do. And if we all agree, then we have a problem. But you cannot tell me, Collington, that you haven't seen anybody, or you could say just being critical of the owners for the sake of it, non-stop, without agreeing that they've done anything right. Uh, I don't think it's okay, but that's just my opinion anyway. Um, let's see what else we have here. Leicester City fought a relegation. He cannot depend on Keats, but at Chelsea, we have experienced Keats that dominate, so it's different. You can argue that's the case. Emmanuel Peter, good afternoon to you too. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. John Hand, everyone, welcome. But we don't allow no spamming here. Yeah, tell them. I think Vic won the guy in question. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 25 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 100 likes by the time the show ends. I appreciate you all. So Collington, I hope you understand what I explained. Okay. What else do we have here? Saying, why do we need more CBs? We have a Chalaba, Badia, Sheila, Fafana, Disasi, Colwell. We don't need a fifth CB. I'm not sure what's going to happen. We still have, I think we have enough. But let's see. Everything comes down to the preference of the incoming manager. If he comes in and says, "Yeah, we definitely need a CB," if he finds the time to look at the players we have, he may well say, "No, I don't think we need one." But maybe if he's looking for leadership, in terms of leadership, I don't think we have one. in the defensive line. I think we lack leadership there. To be more specific, in the central area of our defensive line, James, if he's fit, I believe can lead, even though he's a right back or right wing back or whatever. So my point is, there's a chance the manager will look at the back line and say, yeah, we lack character and leadership there, and would want us to sign a more experienced CB. You never know. Tosin Adebayo, he if we're able to get to sign him, I think he's capable of leading a back line effectively. He's calm, cool, collected, reads the game very well, has an excellent passing range in him. But it remains to be seen whether we'll be able to sign him. But it looks like we're seriously interested in signing him. Casadei recalled because Chelsea needed depth. Yep, that's very correct. Leicester was willing to keep him. Yep, he was doing well. He was playing games. Um, yep, time the person out. I told Vic, you know what to do. I'm not sure why you've been kind there. The likes of Kasten, Kasper, and Soyuncu also left. Exactly. So I didn't even mention all the names of the players that left the club. So he did well with what he had. I would have been annoyed if we get Maresca. Okay, I would be annoyed if we get Maresca. I'd rather have the Zervi over him. It's your opinion, and I've explained why I think he's a better option of the two. We brought back Casadei because we only had two healthy midfielders, Gallagher and Casado. Well done, Coach. Yeah, I was paying attention because at the time we did talk about him uh, often because we were paying attention to how well he was doing at the time, and more especially at the time because we had lots of our midfielders out and we're struggling to have, again, we didn't have enough numbers in the middle of the pack at the time. But Chelsea Godfather, nice to see you, bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Everyone, go and check out his YouTube channel. Please, when you get a chance, do share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. Let's see what else we have here. More likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. In a bit, I'm going to have to scroll to the very bottom so that we can start addressing the items we have lined up. I don't think the owners have done everything right or wrong. Yeah, they've made a lot of mistakes. At the line, if I sit here and say they haven't made mistakes, they have made mistakes. And I think they will eventually get it right. But I think they've done a lot right too, and that's just my opinion. And I think they've been proactive. And in the future, given how tight, given there are lots of regulations, you could say capping how much a club can spend. I think we've signed a lot of young players, and in the future, we don't. I don't think we'd need to spend a lot to get to get good talent. We have them already. We just have to find a way to ensure that they're developing properly. So when we need them, which is you could say bring them back and plug them into the team. And that's just my opinion. But I think a lot of people won't see that now until in a few years they will look back and say, yeah, they knew exactly what they're doing. They've proven that they're capable. They've not been perfect. For instance, people arguing that it's over for us. We need to sell 300 players by June, July, and boom, we're here and we don't need to sell any of our players. So I'm just going to move on. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go along with some of the signings that they've brought in are actually pretty good. Palmer, for example, Marla Gusto, Kendrick Pies, and then there's Messino. All we just manage their development well, and everything will be good. How was everyone? Good for me. We had a holiday here, but not. It's not called bank holiday. I think people enjoyed themselves. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, and I'm gonna scroll to the very bottom. Apologies, I can't read everything you have. Let's see, and we have a Tobago. Tobago is in the house. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And Mikey Neum is in the house. Big up to you, bro. I hope you're doing well. Anybody else that I haven't said hello to before I scroll to the very bottom? Let's see, Enzo Maresca, new era. Just support him. We can't change that. All that's left for us to do is just to support our club. If we really love our club, let's do it. 100K a week for us. I'm not sure I understand that. You have to elaborate a bit for me to understand what you're trying to say there. Do you think England can win the Euros? They have a good enough squad, but I don't trust Southgate. I don't trust him, in my opinion. But chances are he surprises me. But we'll see. Would you take a Tosina? Yeah, I would take him. He's an excellent player. He's good on the ball, good aerially, has an excellent passing range. He reads the game very well too, and is quick. Given how tall he is, he's actually quick enough, and I appreciate that. I would take him. I would take him. I think he's capable of leading that back line. Do we have a ball playing keeper? I don't know. We're still learning more about Petrovic. There's still a lot more to learn about him. Maybe we need. I'm not sure really. Everything comes down to the manager's preference. I think he I don't know about Petrovic really. Maybe we need more time to see because under Pochettino we were being a bit cautious at the time because we weren't properly rehearsed. So maybe Enzo comes in and definitely wants us to be playing out from the back more than we did under Mauricio Pochettino. That's when we'll find out whether Petrovic is actually good on the ball as we've always believed he is. Any news in Gallagher extending his contract? I'm not sure really. It's a complicated situation right now. I think had the club pushed to give him a new contract last season, it would have been easier. But I'm hearing also he was offered a contract last season, but he refused it. He wanted to be sure that he has a place in the team. But you will hear people just going straight to blaming the club. Right now, from a negotiation standpoint, he has the upper hand, and it will be difficult for the club to again the situation for it to work out. The club would have to agree to what he wants, and not and not him agreeing to what the club wants. Hopefully, they find a common ground. If the manager wants him, irrespective of what you think of Gallagher, everything comes down to what the manager wants, and I'm not saying again, given how we've learned that Enzo Maresca likes to approach the game. I don't know, but we'll find out. Let me not just go to the extent of saying who fits in and who doesn't. I think we'll find out with time. John is saying what's happening with your voting poll. What has happened there? Oh, you went away. Yeah, to beg for likes. I'll come back to that. As I told you, this wasn't the initial stream. The first one, all of a sudden stopped on its own, and I wasn't sure what happened. I got pissed, and I was like, you know what, that's it. But at the same time, I think something spoke to me to say just push on because yeah, you just have to take one for the team sometimes, and that's why we're here, and it's improving the views and the likes, and that bad anyway. So let's see anything else. Leo Tunechi says Sal Gallagher will find out. We sold hotels and all that, yeah, to ourselves. So we haven't lost it actually. We haven't lost the hotel. Chelsea need an experienced goalkeeper that can play out from the back. Edson, Man City's Edson will be available. I don't know, but his salary may well be an issue, but we'll find out. So that's it. Let's address some of the items we have lined up here. We don't need to dwell on again on a single topic. So we've read this Enzo Maresca to Chelsea almost there. You can interpret that as yeah, it's happening, and that report there was by Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea ready to give Enzo Maresca a 5-year deal. Bobby, what do you have to say about that? A 5-year deal. I didn't know they will ever do that again. But this, you can say at this point, it's all rumors about. We'll find out in a bit. But let's hear you. If in fact they're willing to give him a 5-year deal, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I kind of thought a lot about it because it was a cause of criticism that
Mhm,
I didn't necessarily disagree with. I just thought, okay, this is looking a bit weird, but I'll look into it and see why. I think they might, because it's still uncertain. You don't know until you know. But I think they
mhm,
might be going down this road. And I listened to one or two other people. Funnily enough, it was the mainstream media again that gave a very decent explanation as to why that is. And I posted the video from Sky Sports on X. Now, there's three parts to this. The first part is in their discussions in Marbella, uh, they're trying to show Moresca that they have the courage of their convictions in him and giving him the vote of confidence by a longer contract this time is certainly a way to tell him, look, you want us, we want you, we are here for you, and if you are happy to come in and work with us the way we like to work, we'll embrace you wholeheartedly. So that's one side of the coin.
Hmm.
The second side, perhaps the more significant side, lies in the fact that the whole reason they've gone for this type of manager is in line with PSR, FFP, the regulations starting in summer, which imbibes your expenditure only being 70% of your revenue. And also, the next summer by 25, the algorithm going to be used to calculate a spend cap based on the lowest earning club in the Premier League, or within, and of course, within your 70% revenue allocation, but it will be further trimmed in terms of your wage bill. And because of that coefficient. So all those things have led to clubs trying to be smart and more economical. That's what has been the catalyst to this new wave of getting young, dynamic, innovative, good managers. This is what everybody has recognized, and we've got some aspects of this fan base that are slow to take this up simply because they don't like it. But whether we like it or not, this is what is happening. And sometimes being objective is about looking at the reality before you and dissecting it for what it is. So this is what it is. This is why they're going for this model and type of manager. Now, it may change next season. It may change in January globally. I doubt it because the financial spending process is more stringent. I think yesterday I gave the example of Real Madrid, how they breathe a sigh of relief that they didn't have to buy Mbappe, but the money they've used to were going to use to buy him, they can now use on his exorbitant wages.
Salary.
Yeah, and they're not going to buy anybody else until they hear from people like Modric. Are you going to continue? Are you going to move on? Because once he's off the wage bill, that frees up some money, and of course Tony Cruz. So until they sell, they're not even buying. And this is the mighty Real Madrid with one of the largest income streams at the moment in football. So their 70% per se will be far larger than most clubs 100%, and they're still economizing because they spend a lot of money. So that was a factor for this. Another aspect to this is that, look, these new, less expensive wage bills that will be coming on the new type of manager. For example, Maresca will not earn as much as you would have to pay Pochettino, for example, because if you double his salary from what he's getting at Leicester, you're going to do very well by him. But what they're doing is that they're fully bringing him into the club structure. And what is that structure? It's an incentivized wage structure, a structure that if you are on, for example, like a lot of the players, if you're on a wage of about 70K a week,
Hmm.
your increments will come yearly based on performance. It's a performance related wage structure. For example, the Chelsea players now having got into Europe, their wage will have an increment, and then on top of that will be a bonus based on the magnitude of the European competition they've qualified for. And this will apply to the coach. If by the end of next year he finishes in the Champions League's positions, for example, or he finishes in a Europa League position, or even back in the Conference League, there is some sort of bonus for that. And his performance, if he has improved, will lead to an increase to his wages. So wages are increased in relation to performance, which in itself creates revenue to pay your wages. So these people are creating a self-sustaining club. This is what this is about. So giving him 5 years is not the same as giving Potter or indeed Pochettino 5 years, because you are paying them super salaries as well as bonuses on top of that. It's not a performance incremental wage structure. Another reason why they can afford to do this 5 years is that I believe, I haven't heard it yet, but the fact that we've already got a set piece coach, the Chelsea ownership is probably investing more in Chelsea's own backroom staff. So the if, for example, you terminate a contract of these of the head coach, the fewer backroom staff he brings along with him, the less payoff money you'd have to pay. And you'd be paying off less anyway because he'll be earning less. And the longer he stays towards the end of the contract, if the contract is terminated at that point, you're paying less. So it's a very smart, well thought out tool to incentivize and give longevity to your coach. These guys are not stupid. We have a gathering of a large number of some of the richest human beings on earth. They're not going to do things run of the mill. They're not going to do things like your average Joe. That's why people struggle to keep abreast of the innovation, the ingenuity, the genius, if you like, of what these guys are trying to do. Because this is how they made their money in the first place, by being different, by being taking calculated risks, by walking on new hallowed territory, by being brave men going where angels fear to tread. This is how they make money, and they're not going to stop now. So we have to prepare ourselves to think outside the box. This has happened. Oh, this is strange. Why has it happened? And I'm sure somewhere within the annals of that explanation I've given is the answer.
Yeah, thank you so much for Bobby. I appreciate you taking the time to say that. Maresca loves the box midfielder, so Gallagher, yeah, could stay and is still alive. You never know. He has 9 lives as I'm seeing, but we must not overlook the fact that his contract situation comes into play. That's a huge problem. Not gonna lie, Madrid are gonna be a scary team in the UEFA Champions League next season because of Mbappe. I'm not too concerned about them. What was he able to get it done for PSG? No. But let's see. You can argue, but they have a better squad than PSG. I mean, that's debatable, but let's see what happens. There was a time
Actually,
they
you
had
have a
even,
point. Yeah, the
yeah.
time they had Neymar, Messi, they still have Marquinhos. They had the all these midfielders.
Yeah,
So
and they have some of the best young talents too. And Gonzalo Ramos, there are others too that's
yeah,
still there. Kolo Muani is still there. So they have a good squad. And Mbappe also, I think Bobby's point is Mbappe when they had all those guys, they didn't win it. Uh, so you never know. But Luis Enrique, he could be the one to win for them. But my point is, I don't think Mbappe joining Madrid means that they will be scarier than they ever been. No. But we'll see. You're even again you have more opportunity to do better if you have a team rather than a crop of superstars. Usually, with their egos can be problematic sometimes. I think we're still looking into Jan Oblak. I don't like Oblak one point. And I'm going to say this. I don't think Oblak is good on the ball. And if we're gonna play, if we're bringing in a manager whose approach, whose possession is what defines his approach mainly, then Oblak isn't the guy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know him that well. I still don't. I know he's a good shot stopper, but I think his ability on the ball is questionable, and that's my opinion. And John here is asking the question: do you think Chelsea will play better by next season? I think they will. I think Chelsea will, and we'll find out. again in a few months, not not even that far. Let's see. Under Maresca, Chelsea ball playing number six Casado as box to box and Gallagher further up. Let's see what he does. We'll find out. And hopefully, again, if the manager wants to keep Gallagher, hopefully they'll find a solution to his contract situation and get it sorted out. We have seen that before. Bobby Potter got a long term deal, and we can be assured he will get the time. We cannot be assured he will get the time. I'm not sure. But here's the thing. My point, Vic. I actually, if you ask me, if he ends up getting a 5 year deal, uh, I'd say maybe they didn't learn something from the case of Potter, but maybe uh, they trust him that much that they don't want to risk it, or maybe they're checking. Okay, even if we decide to let him go, his salary isn't that much. You can say as big as that of Graham Potter, so paying him off won't be an issue. So it's important to consider, even if we give him a 5 year deal, how much does he earn yearly? Bobby, do you get what I'm trying to explain there?
Yes, yes. I know that the 5 year deal, what they would have definitely learned from the Graham Potter situation is a financial algorithm to control costs and spread it over the 5 years. These are the people that came up with the amortization plan to deal with FFP. I think if this happens, there's definitely going to be something like that there. It's not just a slap down 5 year deal. There's going to be something clever included in the calculation that benefits all concerned.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Bobby. And if you this day, I think we should start when we say Enzo, we should say first and last name these days, so we know. When you're talking about, it looks like Fabrizio Romano just put out a tweet, and my bro there, my boss, is telling me to check. I'll check in a bit. Let's see. Is it a fresh one? Is it a fresh tweet? Waldo, you let me know. This is saying if Rusa Gallagher, depending on who we get, Enzo might start playing for the forward. It's up to the manager, but we'll find out. Yeah. Summer is yeah. Okay, are you having fun? Why are you telling us? It all depends if we win the UEFA Champions League with Dortmund as well. If he who I think you're having a conversation. I just jumped into the middle without. Okay. Let's see. If Chelsea sell Chalobah for 40 to 50 million with Tosin Adarabio as a replacement to Chalobah, then I am all for it. I think they're both good defenders, but I don't know who stays and who leaves. We'll find out. Crazy stories. Transfer window will begin. Yeah, soon. Silly season. Chelsea should not sign any more midfielders. We should build up the ones we have. Too much talent there. I think we have a lot in my opinion. But everything also comes down to what the incoming manager wants. Chances are he wants a profile of player that we don't have. But given the fact that we're learning, they want a manager capable of working what we already have. So I don't think we'll be looking to sign any player. So yeah, that does it right there. We need to sell Gallagher, free up game time for Lavia, Enzo, and future
I
prospects to sign.
DM'd you, Fabrizio, about
He's left
three
this
minutes
tweet.
ago now. I've
Okay,
just
thank you.
DM'd you,
Okay, I'll
so you
open it
can
in a
post
bit.
it. It's interesting.
Hello to you too, Mambo Ufunwa. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hello, guys. Thanks again, everyone, for all this beautiful live video. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying it. Feel at home. Express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. So thank you. I want Trevor Chalobah at United. Okay, maybe if we want to sell him, pay up. All Black is on 400K a week, so forget it, guys. Even beyond his salary, I don't think it'd be a match for Enzo Maresca. I don't think he's
You
good
need
on
to
the ball.
call it before somebody calls you. I don't want to steal your thunder, but read it. It's quite
Go ahead.
significant, Roger. No,
Okay, go ahead.
I DM'd you. I want you to post it up there and you read it. You're the host.
Oh, okay. I'd have to bring this window to the other side.
It's a significant thing, and it's about 3 minutes old, 4 minutes old. Very significant.
but that's you say a video or let me
No, I
see. Let me
DM'd you. It's his
Okay, three
his
minutes
ex.
ago. Okay. Okay. It's a breaking news, Bobby. Thank
It's
you so
hot
much for
off the
doing that.
press.
Chelsea have agreed to appoint Enzo Maresca as new head coach. Here we go. Understand. Let me open it more. it would be difficult to bring it to this particular window, but let me try right now. Just give me 1 second. I usually leave one window there open because when one of
I
our
guess the
members
point I was
send an
making is
officer,
that the point I was
sorry.
making is the point I was making is that, and I wanted you to stress is that he's given the here we go. It's happening for
So
real.
it's done. Yep, yep. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Bobby. I can't find that window, and I don't want to go into messages here. But let me open it somehow here. Let me just use this one here. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's happening, and I think we realized yesterday that it was going to be him, Bobby, because lots of
It was too much
outlets
momentum,
were
wasn't it?
were talking about it at the time. Go ahead with what you're saying, Bobby.
It was too much momentum around him. It is definitely going to happen. There's another one I've DM'd you from Fabrizio. This is highly significant in the goalkeeping
Go ahead. You
front.
can go ahead and read that one, Bobby.
This is oh, no. I don't want to put out fake news because this is from a few days ago about Edison
Okay,
could
okay.
leave Man City. However, you were talking about the ball playing goalkeeper. We could
Mhm.
still go back for Diogo Costa. I would definitely support that.
For 60 to 70 million pounds, because that was the price being mentioned at the time.
That was then. I don't know. I googled it, and I'm seeing 45 to 50 million euros. I doubt it, but that's what I'm
Mhm.
seeing.
So there you go, people. Chelsea have agreed to appoint Enzo Maresca as new head coach. Here we go. Understand the agreement is now done on contract, valid until June 2029. So that's a 5 year deal. It will also include an option to extend until 2030. CFC is set to pay compensation fee to Leicester City. So it's happening, people. Again, whether irrespective of whether your preference was Roberto De Zerbi or not, your job right now is to support the manager. I don't think complaining will do us any good. We have to support the club we love and be the 12th man. Be part of the construct of the 12th man, for lack of a better language there. And I'm happy because I've explained it, to you guys the reason why I didn't want Deservi. He's still perfecting his craft. He employs a very unique approach, very different from every other manager you can think of, but it has a lot of flaws. I wonder. I wonder how the Hutchinson Angela Gabriel pies now Esther Willian, how are they going to play in Chelsea, where Nani Madueke is still superior to them all in terms of experience? But if they come in and prove that they're better, they take the places of the other players you've mentioned. We're Chelsea, and I think the sooner we start to look at things with that attitude, knowing that not attaching ourselves, not attaching to ourselves to any particular player, then we'll be better off because we're Chelsea, we're a big club. If we can find any player on the market better than what we already have, sign them. I'm all for it. No more sentiment. I think I've changed. I have changed, and I think that's the better attitude to have. Yep, you like Madueke, or if we can get a player that would be better than Madueke, get him in. If that player can prove that they're better, that he is better than Madueke, then sell Madueke if that's what it would take to accommodate the better player. We're Chelsea. And that's the same thing that Madrid, Bayern, the big clubs, that's what they do. That's what Pep does too. If he feels like he can do better than you, he will not hesitate to sell you irrespective of your relationship with him or what you've won for the club. It just doesn't matter. And I think we should start looking at things with that attitude. It will go a long way for us. Yep. Yeah, I think I've addressed that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have in total 150 people watching, 83 people on YouTube. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And I'm glad I wasn't discouraged by the issue we had when the show started. We're still doing well, getting closer to 600 views, 51 likes in total. It looks like we can still get it to 100 likes. Let's make it happen, people. Vic, remind people to keep liking the video, people. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else to address? Ideally, we need a new striker, and the profile of striker we signed comes down to the manager. And if it ends up being that we're going to end up signing another hybrid striker, then why get one? We have Nkunku, who, if you ask him, he'd tell you he's a number 9. Jackson can start centrally, but if the manager is going to be employing a fluid approach, why sign a traditional number 9, especially one that you end up paying £100 million plus? It just doesn't make sense, and only end up using him depending on the opposition. It just wouldn't make sense. And I'm not going to go into detail as to why I don't think we need a traditional number 9, but right now that may well be not be the case because we have another manager. That argument for me was valid under Mauricio Pochettino, who likes to employ a more fluid approach and likes number 9 capable of dropping deep, participating in the play, playing on the flanks, left, right, and central. I don't know Enzo Maresca that well. Chances are he wants a traditional number 9, but let's see what happens. Wingard Olise, and it looks like we're interested in signing him. If we're going to sign him, I don't mind. I just get the best players to Chelsea. That's what big clubs do. And we have Robinson Camby. It's been a minute. I hope you're well. I haven't seen you like in 1,000 years. I hope you're doing well. Maresca, here we go. Fabrizio Romano. Yep, thank you. I don't know. We can only hope and pray that it works out. I just don't, irrespective of how I feel, I'm not going to go to the extent of saying it's not going to work out. No, you should listen. For instance, listen to DJ Sav talk about the situation. He's bitter, he's pained, he doesn't like it, but he still comes back to, I hope he does well. That's what a true fan does. Fab tweet, Coach, yeah, I've seen it. Thank you so much. I actually read that on the other window, so I've checked it. Yeah, I'm glad the deal they've got. Yeah, it's done. Trevor Chalobah is goodbye for me. But do you think would sell him? I'm not too sure. Everything comes down to the preference of the manager. He will look at the players, and if he doesn't want any of them, he'd ask them to. I don't think we'll be selling too many players, actually. But there are players that we know certainly the club will be looking to sell. One of them, Romelu Lukaku. And we heard that Hakim Ziyech, he will be making his stay at Galatasaray permanent, and that's a good deal for us. All we need is a prolific winger, according to Tanechi. Let's see, Tanechi, where are you from? Please tell me. Mbappe is a very good player, no doubt. However, he's the problem of PSG. That may well be the case. They play for him. His departure will bring success to PSG. Yeah, it may well be a blessing in disguise. He would be great at Madrid. Congratulations to his yeah, for him. You can say realizing his dream move. But Kunle Kuku, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding time to join. It's a fresh tweet 2 minutes ago. Yeah, thank you. I've looked at it. And unfortunately, people, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, but I'm going to say hello to IB Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. IB, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea Blue on 1905. Gallagher is an injury free. Yeah, he hardly gets injured. That's the truth. But beyond that, everything comes down to what the manager wants. And I get your point there. We're not going to get into whether Gallagher is a good player or not. Everything comes down to what the manager wants. Bobby Wally Waldo saying respect to you. They all love you. I know you know that. Would you sell Starling and Mudryk for new left wing back? Not up to me. If it was up to me, I'd let Starling go. But here's the thing. Mudryk, I don't think the club will consider selling him. Chances are Maresca, who knows Raheem Sterling very well, chances are he'd keep him. I don't know. So I just don't want to say for certain that certain players will stay, and definitely some will leave. Petrovic is good with his feet. Okay, also good in saves, and can save up penalties. Let's keep him. I think he stays, but I think he needs competition, and I don't think Sanchez is the competition he needs. I don't think so. And he's still very young. How old is he? 25? At most 26. And goalkeepers at that age, they still have a long way to go. Goalkeepers, they do age like a fine wine. So he still can become one of the best in the world. He's capable of becoming that because we've seen him pull off some delicious, you can say, excellent saves that are reflective of what he's got in him that we haven't seen. As good as Petrovic saves his ball distribution has been horrendous. maybe because we went too into that, given the manager we had at the time, Mauricio Pochettino, to be more specific. Thank you for that, Vic. We've read it. It was on the screen here. Here we go. Thank you so much, people. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then try Enzo Maresca to Chelsea is yep, here we go. So let me scroll to the very bottom and I'll try to get your subsequent contributions. Sorry, people. As much as I like to interact with you, I cannot read everything you have in the chat. How you there, my bro? How you there now? Steve Onoli, my bro who lives in India. I hope the Indians are treating you kindly. Yeah, thank you. Jingles. Yeah, people. Kachila Chelsea should sign Gyökeres. He would thrive under Maresca. He's a good player. Again, I'm going to say let's wait and see the manager's preference. Everyone go and subscribe to Chelsea FC Jingles. Let's help him grow. The link to his YouTube channel has been provided there. Please, let's do that. Hello to you too. Yep, there you go. Let's continue addressing the items we have lined up. Kimso. Nice to see you, Kimso. I hope you're doing well and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I'm not going to highlight such comment from you again, Kimso. You have to support your manager irrespective of what you think. And Kimso, question for you from Yap Nightbot. Let's see what other item we've addressed this one. And Bobby, thank you for sharing that. Enzo Maresca will be content working under the current structure at Chelsea, where he can devote all his time and energy to his players and the training ground culture. I think this makes sense. And Thomas Tuchel wanted the same thing, didn't he? And rumors at the time was that he did fall out with the owners because the owners wanted him to be involved and he didn't want to. So Bobby, I'm not too sure what's going on here. It looks like they've learned that I think would be better off letting managers do their job and not get them involved in every meeting or in everything that's going on at the club. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, this is part of an evolution, isn't it? If you are in a battle, in a war, when you win, there's collateral damage. I think Tuchel was a little unlucky in that, added to his own personal issues, he was at the beginning of, at the end of a very traumatic sale, and at the beginning of a very rushed tenure. So he would have been part of the experiment and a collateral damage to that. If Tuchel surfaced now, he would love this sort of situation. Just stay out of transfers, work with the players that are given to you, which you are very right. You've pointed out something that a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, bring back Tuchel, this guy is too young," have forgotten that this is exactly what Tuchel wanted. So clearly, they feel this is the way forward. They seem to have learnt from that and they wish to try this now because it is a trial. No matter how we look at it, they are trying and hoping that they've made all the right decisions to make it work. So I just think it's unfortunate for Tommy Tuchel at that time, but this is life. We go through certain periods where um, it's our time. I mean, it was his time to come and win us the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the World Club Cup. That was his time. He was at the right time, at the right place. But when the new ownership came, I think it wasn't his time and place. So yeah, I don't fault it, but it's a divergence from where they were before, most
Mhm.
certainly.
Yep, thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate that. 135 people watching, only 68 on YouTube. That's fine, but we need to get it up to 100 likes as soon as possible. And if you're following the show on X, we appreciate you. But I have a secret for you. We do monthly giveaway for our students for our members who are students. You get a chance to win $50 if you join us on YouTube and subscribe. And more importantly, make sure you turn on the notification button so that whenever we go live, you know and not miss it. And then you get a chance to win at least $50 if you're a student. We're doing that for our students because I've been there myself, especially being a student in the foreign line and working at the same time. But we're not doing it strictly to students who are in the foreign line, but for our followers globally who are students, you get a chance to win at least a But that's by the way, Kim. So, yep, let me read that out. Kim, so big up. You told us you were looking for a girlfriend. Have you found one? You owe us that. So tell us, Kim. So, but nice, more importantly, nice to see you, Kim. So I hope you're doing well. Anything else to address here? Enzo Maresca had Vardy, Darka, Kelechi Hanacho, and traditional strikers. Okay, Kelechi isn't a traditional number 9. Maybe Darka, maybe Patson Darka, but Patson Darka, he has more to his game. He can drop deep. So hopefully, then maybe definitely we'll go for Simem if we can afford him. Under Poche, every player forced to do 10K runs every training day. What? Uh, hmm. This is the first time I'm hearing that, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I understand what you mean by that, but I'm just gonna move on anyway. Tired legs ever before match day. That is seriously crazy. I have to be honest with you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Yep, go and check out Chelsea FC Godfather's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him grow. Yeah, he's an OG here. He's a friend. He's a brother, and he has a lot of delicious videos on his channel that you can go check out. Pochettino did what bleep test with your players. I'm not sure I understand what that means, but I get your point there. Ty, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. Much appreciate you guys for the news and ideas. Mambo Ufuno, nice to see you, Mr. Mambo. Thank you for joining. I told you, lads, that today, Tuesday, would be the day. Thank you, Ty. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for finding the time to join the show this particular morning, Ty. Ty has a lot of profile videos, and I think he's done. Yep, he's released one. I did retweet that about Enzo Maresca. If you want to know more about Enzo Maresca's preferred approach, go check out Ty's YouTube channel. Ty, if you get a chance, just share the link there so people can go check it out. I think it will help you understand his approach. We have Prince Mohas, big up Coachella. I publicly say that I am backing Enzo from day one that's what fans do. And I applaud you for that. It's not easy. Rather than complaining from now to tomorrow, from here to Jamaica, it doesn't change anything. And the sooner people realize that, here's the thing. And I think people sometimes try to defend what they're saying by saying that they have every right to critique the team. That's the difference between criticism and complaint. Yeah, when you keep going and repeating it every day, sometimes even without you knowing, it becomes complaint, if that makes sense. Yeah, what's the link on X? What link? Can you elaborate, bro? Kunle? Shoot me a message on X. I understand what you're saying. If you're following me on X, people, go and subscribe to Ty's YouTube channel. Yep, the link is there. Lots of delicious content there, snappy, all of them, short videos, and that will help you learn more about our players and the manager himself, or the incoming manager. I think you will enjoy them. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. The Enzo Maresca video gotten 17K views and counting. And how many? That's how many days? That's excellent, Ty. Yep. So you see, people better go check it out. And if he doesn't know, if it wasn't a good video, we wouldn't have 17K plus right now. So go check it out, people. Maresca out. Okay, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead. But I'm not going to highlight such comments again right there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what else we have here. Tank again, finally employing the Chelsea Football Club new manager to get ready. Yeah, it was done quickly. No delays. The current players and new players for the new season. Plus, let me see what he has there. Plus, give the new manager time to mature the team. Yeah, he needs time, and I think they're willing to give him time. 3 days and 17K views, coach. That's not easy. Probably we'll get to 100K plus. So you've done a good job there, because the truth remains, if people don't watch it all through, or don't, if it is not gripping, I don't think you have 17K plus there. So you've done an excellent job, Jai. Congratulations. So you well deserved. Hopefully people will go. Just share the link so more people here can go watch it. I'm not sure the start date In all honesty, I'm not sure the start date. Keep dropping the likes, punishing people. The likes do go a long way. Let's move back on to the items we have lined up. Yeah, he's content walking under the current structure, not asking too much. Enzo Maresca's idea, if you don't know, I don't know, but this is just text. But if you watch Ty's video, I think you will enjoy it. You will understand Enzo Maresca's approach even more. Enzo Maresca's idea is inverted fullbacks, a total domination of the ball, tiring opponents mentally and physically, ruthless breaking of lines and overloads. He will immediately outline his philosophy to his new squad and demand bravery and commitment. Bobby, that's good to see. He has a plan. And I think one of our biggest problems this past season is that we weren't able to control games. But you could say, his approach is more of again you can say controlling game is more important to his approach than any other than any other thing. But let's hear you, Bobby. What do you make of that? Are you there, Bobby?
Sorry, I was just unmuting.
Oh,
So
okay.
make of what? What was the comment?
Okay, let me read it for you again. Just pay attention to again. I think his I think he prioritizes controlling games. This
Yeah.
says Enzo Maresca's idea is inverted fullbacks, total domination of the ball, tiring opponents mentally and physically, ruthless breaking of lines and overloads. He will immediately outline his philosophy to his new squad and demand bravery and commitment. So I think he's prioritizes something we missed last season. We weren't able to control games. Even when we score 10 goals, you still be concerned that the opposition will still score 11 and
Mm.
and go and win the game. But let's hear you.
Yeah, I mean, everything we're hearing is encouraging, to say the least. Um, the people are looking at his CV, the evidence of what he's done at Leicester.
Mhm,
Although people are paying less attention to Parma, but as a new up and coming um, coach, manager, whatever you want to call it, you're
mhm,
going to have a few hiccups in terms of places you've managed along the way. Look, everything seems okay with him. Ultimately, it's what he does that will determine everything. So, yeah, I look at these things, I'm encouraged, but I'm still waiting to see how this is all going to pan out.
mhm. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think we've heard a lot that we want to see execution. We want to see him as apply those things we've heard about him up close. Everything right now is what we all know, what we've been told. For some of us that have watched this team, you can see, yeah, it makes sense, but we need to see him up close at Chelsea do the same thing. So thank you. Enzo Maresca is guaranteed to win something at the club. He's Italian, and every Italian manager we've had has all, yeah, have all won something. Yeah. Who did any of them except for the Tinker Man? But he did a lot for us. He did a lot for us. He laid foundation for whoever took. I think it was Mourinho that took over from him at the time. Even Vieri, a player manager at the time, won something with us. Named them Mauricio Sarri, Carlo Ancelotti, Antonio Conte. Did I miss anyone? All of them. So they've been our lucky charm, and hopefully, yeah, he wins something. What is every day at the same time. Okay, Mambo. But thank you for asking. Italian managers for Chelsea success and trophies. I think I agree. It says for an insight and understanding of the way Enzo Maresca has set up his team in the past, check out Ty's latest tactical video on him. I think you will enjoy it. As if I knew, I was still talking about how I believe how good it will be, and he just told us it's garnered 17,000 plus views and counting. So that shows you people like it, so you might as well go and watch it. Fabrizio Romano here. We go. Enzo Maresca is hired as Chelsea Football Club boss. I am glad we can finally get new players to join the current team. Yep, know. Again, I'm happy. Really, it's not easy. Again, even though I have concerns, but I'm glad they got it done as quickly as possible. Let him start work immediately. In Mauricio Pochettino's case, I think he had to wait for a certain period to start working at the time, to start work at Chelsea at the time. But I'm just happy it got done quickly. And we can hope and pray that he does well. Ancelotti is Italian too. Yeah, I did mention Ancelotti. Wow, I wouldn't miss that. Did you know that Maresca and Potter were teammates during their time at West Brom? I didn't know that. But thank you for that history there. Then from West Brom, he went back to Italy. I think he was to Juventus, where he got to play with some legends there. Fans forget Maresca took us to the wire in the FA Cup this season. We were saved by Carney's last minute one-two touch in that fine goal there. Yeah, yeah. Khalid Abdulhamid Hamid, nice to see you. Maresca is here. We go. Thank you, and hopefully he does well. Kachila Enzo Maresca had Vardy Daka. I think you said that before. As they're not no. Kalechi had it had a choice. It's not your stereotypical number 9. No, he's not. Daka maybe, but not Ihanacho. Vardy, yeah, I think I agree. But Vardy actually has more to his game too. That makes sense. But that's not to say he comes to Chelsea and says he wants a traditional. But now you don't know. We'll find out. He had to work with what he had at Leicester City. If you can, we must respect that. Roger Dodger is in the house. Gracias. Hola. Konnichiwa. Assalamu alaikum. What else am I missing there? Ciao.
Hola, Roger. You've been
Yeah,
away
that's
too
correct.
long. I was gonna start sending a search party to find you.
Konnichiwa. How is everyone? Bobby, my favorite Chelsea fan. Coach,
Yeah,
my
Yeah,
we're
favorite
all good.
Arsenal fan. How are you, sir?
yeah.
Well,
I
you
can
want Coach
complain,
to shut
Roger, but
down
even though
his
you're not asking me,
platform.
I know you're asking Bobby, but I'm gonna
Uh,
answer.
Seriously, how is everyone? Everyone's good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. More importantly, but thank you for joining us. Let's hear you, Roger. You can come in whenever you want to come in. It's done. He will become our next manager, and hopefully he does well.
Yeah, has it been officially announced? I don't know.
It's a here we go. They've
No,
agreed.
yeah, okay, it's pretty slam dunk then.
Hmm.
Yeah, listen, I have no preconceived notions. I don't know. I know he coached, I think it was Parma or somewhere, and then Leicester. He's listen. He has a very small resume, as do most of the applicants. In the last week or two.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm open-minded. I just want to see what he can do with this squad. As Bobby and I have said many times, he's not going to succeed at all if we don't fix our injury issues. Period. We can bring Klopp in and have the same amount of injuries, and we're not going to succeed. So if we can remain relatively, when I say remain, we haven't really been, but if we can achieve relative health among the squad and build incrementally,
Hmm.
patterns of play, football philosophy, etc., especially tighten up defensively, then I think we can push for top 4/5. I don't see why not, but a lot of things have to go right. And this includes a young coach that has never coached a Premier League team, let alone a top 6 Premier League team, an elite, club in my opinion. At least 1B, if not 1A, and the pressure is very different. We saw that with Potter. We've seen that to a certain extent with Pochettino. You can be okay winning 1 out of 5 in Tottenham or wherever, or Southampton or Brighton, but here it's the expectations are far higher. So I'm not sure about his mindset, his mental strength. Hopefully, he can prove that he is the person for the job. Only time will tell. He's either going to be a magnificent flop or he's going to excel, because I don't think there's too much middle ground in this. I don't see him being a hoo ha. I see him actually.
Was he your first choice?
No, he wasn't. But does it
Who was your
matter?
first choice?
Oh, Well, it would have been realistically to have kept Pochettino because of
No,
continuity.
beyond Pochettino, I mean.
Sure, okay, but that would have been my first choice. Beyond Pochettino, I'm really not too sure. Perhaps a Tuchel, knowing that that would never come to fruition because of the way they parted before. They didn't exactly part in the same way that Pochettino did, for instance, where it was mutual. This was not mutually um, beneficial to both parties. He was fired unmistakably. So because of that, I would have preferred that, but that would have happened in reality. Other than that, it's hard to say. It really is. Everyone says flick, etc. A lot of them are non-proven. De Zerbi does tick a lot of boxes, statistically speaking. Only, I saw a video, from 442 where it broke down, our statistics and how De Zerbi actually was superior in quite a few categories. But then again, I don't know about his tactical acumen. I don't know about how he would handle the pressure. I'm not sure the fact that the fan base would have a huge bias against him. I think there was a lot of negatives that would go against him, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just
his approach has a lot of flaws. I think his approach is unique, but he hasn't perfected it yet, which is why a lot of big clubs aren't looking to hire him.
also his
His
personality, to a certain
yeah, his
extent,
yeah,
can
exactly.
rub people the wrong way. It can be misconstrued, however you want to term it. And very much like Poch having a bias about him coming from Tottenham, I think there would be that inherent bias coming from being another Brighton individual. So that
Mm,
there's many pros and cons to many people. You know, we were never in the run of getting an elite coach. Like an Ancelotti, a Klopp, a Pep. One of the top tier. I mean, A, they're really not available, and B, even if they were, I'm not sure that they would welcome our project. I don't know, because of the fact that I think our current administration has shown that they have not been able to provide stability. I mean, they're very trigger happy. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. Only time will tell, right?
yeah. Richard, while I'm still with you, what we have on the screen here, I've seen that flying around, but JC did mention something, saying to the effect of that that would be only possible if Sir Jim Ratcliffe, is that how you pronounce his name, has
Ratcliffe.
a certain percentage ownership of a certain club. He mentioned, I was sleeping when I saw that report, but let me see if you're well acquainted with the situation. This says, Coach, you hear of the possibility of us getting Europa, Sir Ratcliffe, your team, okay, I think it's a bit jumping up in the Europa spot, and Man United finished below the other team. And also, but what he's asking there, if I've heard about the situation where we still get a Europa place, while Man United
Yeah,
will not.
Yeah, I DM'd that to you.
Yeah,
It's about the fact that Jim Ratcliffe basically owns
Ratcliffe, is that how you
Nice.
pronounce it? Ratcliffe,
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
owns Nice and owns a large part of Man United now. So there's a conflict of interest in his stake in two clubs that have qualified for the Europa League.
Mhm.
He will have to let go of one.
I thought you have to be a majority owner in both or something, or
Which was
close.
what, yeah, which was what JC mentioned.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the
Be the
percentage is.
case. That could be the case. I don't know. I didn't know when I DM'd it. It was really to look for responses because it was an interesting conflict.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's amazing that scenario even transpired. Rodri's first ever start for Man City, where he loses, had to be in the bloody FA Cup final of all places. You know,
I don't look at the Conference League as such a bad thing, to be honest. I think because of the youth and the development of the
yeah, I
team,
agree. I agree.
it
But
it's a
but,
good
but
introduction to
okay,
Europe.
go ahead. I'll let you drop, Bobby. Sorry.
The only
You
reason
know,
why I wanted Europa, Bobby, is that had hypothetically we won it, we would automatically qualify for the Champions League, which is
yeah,
another avenue. That's my only.
yeah. I mean, I would take that if we could get that. But the
Yeah,
truth
yeah.
of the matter is that we finished in a Conference League position anyway.
Sure.
It was only because of Man City getting to the final and with another team that there was a possibility that should that at the FA Cup, that should that team be beaten, that our position would be upgraded um, to
Europe.
Europa. So it was always a hit and miss sort of
Yeah, I
situation.
agree.
But yeah, I mean, I'll take Europa if we can get it, and if there's a clause that means either that Man United have disqualified themselves by their ownership, which is highly unlikely, I'll take that as well.
Yeah, you're right, though. I think any European, shall we say, experience, A, because it allows the squad to be rotated heavily, and, it gives them this exposure. And plus, it helps us with revenue and our coefficiency, our European coefficiency, because it's been dropped the last 2 years, literally 0 points each year, each season.
Absolutely,
So it's a win-win in many ways.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think Chelsea
Although, however,
fans.
we have to remember, sorry, coach, but we are playing
Go
a
ahead.
playoff, which means the season starts early for us, which is why it was
Yes.
so important to sort out the manager situation. So we can't take anything for granted. A playoff is a playoff is a playoff. We got to win it to be
Yeah,
in it. So
exactly. Yeah. We would have actually, I believe, had to make a playoff run in the Europa League, if I'm not mistaken. So um, there you have it.
All right. This says, I don't know. I think
when
Eddie
you
is
finish, I
sharing
have a
this. Sorry.
so when you finish, I actually have a question for Roger
Okay.
based on a
Yeah.
point
Well,
you
this is
raised.
saying, I think, go ahead. Let me just let you ask the question, then we come back to that.
Sorry to cut in. I was really keen. It's a shame Roger wasn't here. But Coach raised a very significant and interesting point. You know,
Impossible.
yeah, he does. Coach has his moments, but he mentioned something that
That's nice. Yeah. Go
a lot
ahead,
of
Bobby.
us, a lot of us in the fan base are overlooking, especially those that are whinging about this new, somewhat bold move for an untried head coach at our level.
Mm.
And this is what Thomas Tuchel wanted right from the beginning. He didn't want to be a part of anything to do with purchases. He just wanted to focus on training his team, and he lost his job.
The
So
irony.
yeah, I was telling coach that it's a question of wrong place at the wrong time, because if he was around now, I mean, I have no regrets with the time he was at Chelsea, because he got us the blooming Champions League, the World Club Cup, and the Super Cup. But it's just ironical that at that time, it really wasn't. It didn't cut it with the ownership, and not unsurprisingly, they had no sporting directors in place. They had no one to guide them as to which players to select. So of course they had to look to the manager, and the manager really wasn't interested in that. So it is a huge irony that coach pointed out, and rightly so, in my opinion, that all of a sudden now this is where we are, and fans are complaining. Yet many of us want Thomas Tuchel back. So it's interesting. I just wanted to hear
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
angle.
no, it's I totally concur. It really is. Because if you recall, he was doing press conferences about the ownership. He was basically our PR man, our sporting director. He wore many hats in those um, tumultuous days, shall we say. And let's be honest, um, he was doing a great job, but he didn't want that. He just wanted football. I totally agree. And yeah, it's so ironic, isn't it? It's
Yeah, and now that's exactly what we want. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I read it. But that's by the way, Roger. Let's talk about what we have on this screen. This one point here before. I don't believe this will ever happen. He's probably earning a lot at Man City, which I don't think the owners would match. Even if Maresca wants him because he's excellent with his feet. I don't see that happening. I'm quite sure Eddie shared this with me because maybe Chelsea fans will start saying, "Why not go for him?" I don't think we will. That's because we we don't pay that much money. But go ahead, Roger, if you want to talk about that.
No, I think I've read reports that he's going to be offered generational money to go to Saudi, and you know,
Oh, so we can't even compete.
yeah, he's going to be offered massive De Niro, and you know what? It's up to him. It's generational money. If he's going to be paid 25, 50 million a year, whatever it is, then
Mhm.
that's he has to make that call. I understand why, because it will change his family and his family's generations to come. But he's no pauper right now. Let's put it that way. I think, knowing him, he'll probably stay in Manchester, but you never know. It depends how many zeros they offer him. I don't
Yeah,
see
everything.
Chelsea going after him. I mean, with regards to being able to compete, because why would you? What I mean, he has no affiliation unless he's a Chelsea fan deep down. I doubt it. I don't see him having affiliation coming to London. He's playing for a great team with one of the greatest, if not the greatest, coach right now, and everything's clicking. He's winning trophies for fun. I don't see the logic in him winning unless it's for tremendous amount of money that you just cannot turn down.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Let's see. In the building, uh, just 1 second here. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Somebody is in the chat saying they're 9 year old. I don't think they should be here. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And this is saying the deal with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he will buy a bigger stake in Man United. Okay, so which means that that's not going to be an issue. Eric is saying, what's the irony, Bobby? And I'm sure we've talked about it. I'm pretty sure you heard that. And you're saying Tuchel was fired due to personal reasons. It looks like
Mm.
the chicken wants a home. Okay, Tuchel was sacked due to personal reasons. I think, in all honesty, Eric, there's no way to tell why he was fired, but he had personal issues at the time, going through a divorce. I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong and all that, but that's by the way. Anyway, this is saying refund Sanchez and get Edison. And I'm sorry I had to ban the person there in the chat. He said he was 9 clearly and was talking about something about cheating girlfriend. We don't want that issue here. Yeah, I did not. I did not say.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Had he not said how old he is, yeah, then we could just go on without knowing.
oh,
But he
to be
mentioned.
9 again, right, Bobby?
Mhm, mhm. Enzo Maresca is known as someone keen to have a goalkeeper who can act as a playmaker by placing the ball wherever it is needed, much like Ederson at City. That could have been why Eddie shared that link with me, but yeah, I don't know if Petrovic can be that guy. Richard, let's hear you. I honestly do not know.
What to be? I think we can go deep with him. I think if we have a good enough defensive line and a midfield that could protect that defensive line, um, yeah, I think he can very well be good enough to win trophies with Chelsea, assuming
Mhm.
he improves, assuming that he currently is on the same trajectory as he has been with Chelsea. You know, obviously he needs to improve and grow with every aspect of his game, but to me he hasn't shown otherwise. He's had a small blip here and there, but nothing to lose sleep over. I can see him being a good enough keeper for us to win trophies. I really do. I don't see him as a weak point. I just don't. He would be, in my estimation, one of the last. Um, I would say one of the last priorities for Chelsea to improve. I see far more around the pitch where we need to improve prior to us making an upgrade in goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, there are better goalkeepers. I'm not saying there's not, but I think he's at the very least good enough. And don't forget, he's years away from entering his prime. So I think he's acquitted himself really well thus far. That doesn't mean to say that he can't be bad next season. He may be a huge flop. One doesn't know. But based on what we've seen of him, I think he's good enough. But he has to improve in all aspects and grow. And I think he will. Listen, it's hard to come in a new country, in a new league, halfway through the season. I think he's done well.
Would it be right to say that you can say we were being a bit cautious at the time because the team under Mauricio Pochettino wasn't properly rehearsed. So overall we were being a bit cautious not to risk too much in terms of playing out from the back. That didn't allow us, you could say, the luxury of knowing how good he is really with his
We did
feet.
play out of the back a lot, if you notice.
But in most cases, boot it forward and not risk too much, right?
Yeah. When warranted, he also played out from the back quite a bit. Yeah, but the difference between him and Sanchez is Sanchez invited pressure. I'm not saying
Wasted too much on the ball. Takes time to decide what to do with the ball.
that
Takes too
too,
much
very
time.
much so. But the one thing that I did notice, he didn't do it all the time, but for the majority of the time, he wouldn't invite pressure. He would boot it when necessary. But when he was called in to, distribute with his feet, I think he did very well for the most part. I would say 95%, 99% of the time, I thought he excelled. He did very well. I think he's an upgrade over Sanchez with regard to distribution.
But it also, to be fair to him, I think some of the players we had at the time weren't making enough movement to you can say to provide more passing lanes to him, because it makes it easier when you have multiple choices to choose from in terms of who to pass the ball to. Usually, sometimes our players, they don't make too many movements that he finds it difficult to find a person to give the ball to when he wants
Yeah.
to keep it close.
You can say that all over the pitch, to be honest with you. Our midfield at times, our forwards, our wingers. Yeah, you can say that at times we're too stationary. Listen, I think he can grow with the team as the team grows. I really do. If we do upgrade, I won't have an objection as long as it's not a huge ramification for us financially. I'd rather see money spent elsewhere. I really do. Because I don't think it's that big of a priority for Chelsea. Unless he regresses, unless he starts to have stinkers, unless he starts to make mistakes, which until now we haven't seen. He's been consistently very steady. And so under that, I'm basing my opinion on the amount of games we've seen him play thus far. Who knows? He could be an elite goalkeeper next year. Conversely, he could really regress and be a huge bomb. He could really be a weak point. I don't know. I'm just basing it on what we've seen thus far.
Yeah, I think he has the potential because at 25, as a goalkeeper, I think I'd be right to say he's still a potential. And this is his fourth season at the highest level, and he hasn't been that bad. But hopefully, let's see. The manager can help him improve too, like you said. Says Maresca has a Pep's blueprint, and we will win. He will win us the league. Okay, I hope he does. Never say never. Who says he cannot? According to the Sun, a deal has been done regarding United competing with Nice in the Europa League. The two teams will bypass the multi-club ownership rule in the same competition. Wow. Do you understand that, Roger?
No. Can you repeat that, please?
Did you see it on the screen? I'm going to read it. I don't know why I'm finding it difficult to understand. He said that according to the Sun, a deal has been done, I'm guessing, regarding United competing with Nice in the Europa League. The two teams will bypass the multi-club ownership rule in the same competition. I think, which means we don't have a chance.
Well, what does a deal has been done? What does that mean? That's so vague. That's so cryptic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. AD probably in the process missed out something because he was trying to tell us what he
I don't know what that means. Honestly,
But the second part explains it.
Yeah, but it's open to so much interpretation. How have they bypassed it? How? If the rules state that if you have an ownership now, unless it's a majority ownership, If it's
Hmm.
not a majority ownership, then I'd like to know how has this rule been quote unquote bypassed. I just don't see how that's possible.
Yeah,
And
wish Eddie was on the panel so he can elaborate. I think he missed something while he was typing there. Due to Rack Live owning under 30% of United currently, uh, can you elaborate too? Everybody's just putting half and half.
yeah,
um, I feel like Chelsea Godfather is saying I feel like Petrovic can improve his distribution. Maresca will work with him to improve to improve. He otherwise has been reliable in all other areas as a goalie, and I think I agree. Even Roger did say that he wasn't perfect, but at least 90% plus Roger mentioned he's done well. Yeah, and he can only learn from his mistakes. Yeah. What does winning the Conference League do for us in terms of qualification?
that's just into
I'm honestly.
Europa automatically the following season.
Oh, you go to Europa the next season.
Yeah,
Okay. So maybe it's worth spending the money and winning it. I have a feeling that Sanchez will be sold, but he's on a 7-year contract, so it won't even be easy to sell him.
Jesus.
Will be sold. He won't suit Maresca's system. Goalkeepers under Maresca has to be good on the ball and good at a shot stop. And Sanchez isn't that guy. He's not. I think we've always known that. Conference League winners qualifies for Europa League. Okay, thank you so much for answering that question. Deal has been reached. Okay, a deal has been reached. Let me go back there to that. Aid is coming. So, according to the Sun, a deal has been reached regarding United and Nice competing in the same competition. So they've agreed. For some reason, they've agreed they're going to bypass the rules and they both can participate in the competition. I hope my interpretation of that is correct. Eddie, please do help me out. Yeah, I do like Petrovic too. I think somebody has have answered that question. So I'm going to go to the very bottom. I don't see.
Look, look.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
If that's true,
Mhm.
I take issue with that.
Yeah,
I take huge issue with that because had
We
that
need to know what
been,
sort of deal that was reached, right?
yeah, we need to really know what that's about because if they are bending the rules to accommodate, because that's how I interpret what they're
that's how I
saying,
interpret it too, Bobby.
Yeah, in order to accommodate Man United, I'm pretty sure if that was Chelsea, they would be screaming and
There would be no deal,
rules. Exactly. So
period.
I would be really, if we can pose the question to him to give us his source, either a link or something, so we can look at it. I have big problems with that, huge problems with that. No, it's not acceptable. If that's the case, if it is a breach is a breach, and
You know,
no, that doesn't sit right with me at all.
under any definition, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's laughable. It really is. It
Yeah.
just, yeah, no comment.
I think they need to tell us the sort of agreement they reached. I think people will be asking, clubs will be asking the same questions. We need just 10 more likes to get it to 100 likes. Let's make it happen. We'll be rounding up soon, people. We keep going. Where did I stop? I've read that one there saying, I have a feeling that Sanchez will be sold. I think we've addressed that one. Conference League, I think we've addressed that one too. We've addressed, says Rodri has never lost a league game for Man City for over a year. Wow.
Well, he actually, I think it was this was his 75th start as a starter for City, and they were 74-0. And without him starting, they were 0-5. And so the one game that he started, I mean, they played horribly. Listen, United played well, but I think it wasn't that Man United won the game. I think it's more that City lost it. They were just being under no pressure. You saw wayward passes that you never see.
It was
Every
just as if they took it for granted, in my
They were
opinion.
flat. I think they showed up thinking they were just all they had to
Yeah,
do was show
they
up
were
and win.
they were going to overrun Man United, right?
Yeah, they were flat. And let's be honest, the takedown of bloody their number 9 was, I mean, it was a bloody wrestling takedown. How is that not a penalty? Anywhere else over the field, that's a foul. It doesn't mean to say that they would have won the game, but I think it would have made it far more interesting. And listen, they had the vast majority of the ball and chances, and I don't know, but it just
I mean, I'd still be complaining had the game finished 1-0, but they scored. Man United scored two good goals, so I
sure. And,
think they
and, one-
deserve to
and one
win.
of them, look, one of them was an error from the goalkeeper. That was wow. That was
Yeah,
bad. That was just listen. This is what has to happen to beat City. They have to have an off day, and you have to play well. It's that simple. And because if they have their A game, they're virtually impossible to beat. But having said that, I've seen 4 matches in the last 3 years against Real Madrid where they outplayed Real Madrid hands down, and yet Real Madrid came away victorious from both legs. So, you know, being the better team doesn't always automatically mean that you're going to win. It just happens.
yeah. And if you're following the show, if you have any questions, drop into the chat. I think we'll try to address it. Why we'll try to get every other thing we have there. Let's see what else we have here. Bobby Fervey is saying, let's reflect on this logic. Okay, it costs £10 million to sack Poch. How do we know that was how much it cost to sack him? And £10 million to compensate Leicester City just so we can get a championship manager at half the price. I disagree that we sacked Poch because we wanted the cheaper a manager who will cost us less, or maybe in terms
Do
of
you think
salary.
we sacked him, Coach? I think it was more that he. I think it. Listen, I know what.
More of you could say the vision not aligning.
Yeah, I think that if Poch wanted to stay, he'd still be here. I don't think he
Yeah,
wanted. I think
it's
if
a
anything,
possibility.
I think he wanted, and he stated this multiple times in presses in the few weeks prior to. He said it's also under the assumption that his coaching staff wants to be here, and
And,
so
and
maybe
chances are, again, like from what I'm just tapping in what you already said, he probably wanted to leave. And did find an excuse, but we were
yeah.
told it was on by mutual consent. It could have been him saying, "No, I'm not working under this condition," or the club saying, "You didn't do enough." We don't know. So this is just your opinion, Bobby Fairview. Much respect to you. I respect your opinion, and I'm not sure what to make of this particular comment. In all honesty, I'm not sure.
Hey, Coach, can I ask though?
You've tried
Uh,
just 1 second, Roger, if you don't mind. You've tried as best as you can to make me understand your logic there, but I'm not buying into it, and that's me. And you have every right to think it was a mistake. What if tomorrow Maresca wins us the league? I know you will still clap and support him, and maybe you'll be brave enough to come out and say, "Yeah, you were mistaken. You didn't give him a chance at all. Just give him a chance. It has happened. It has happened." And I'm not the type that dwell on do I think I really like the appointment? No, I'm pained because I was, and I did tell you, Roger, that I'm quite sure if we ever let Mauricio Pochettino go, that would go for an elite manager. And your response on the day was that the third time is a charm, yeah, right, or something to that effect. So I am seriously pained, but I have to move on. I don't dwell on it. Calculating these
Honestly,
things won't make any difference. But go ahead, Roger. You were saying something.
no, it's me. Honestly, when I see a positive and or objective post from this guy, I think we should frame it. I'm just lost for words. I have never, maybe others have, but I have never seen anything but some sort of attack, complaint. It's a bit
I'm
much
just going to leave
for
it at
me.
Bobby. He knows how to be positive, but he's strong-willed. He likes to prove to you that he's correct, and he sticks with his opinion until maybe it turns out he's wrong. Yeah, I've seen him come out openly and say, "I'm sorry, I thought this was going to be like this, but yeah, this is how it is." I think he's entitled to his opinion, but my gosh, I'm not sure what else to say. Go ahead,
I,
Bobby,
I,
if you're still speaking.
I'm a little bit concerned about what I've read that they're going to offer him a 5-year contract. I
Yeah,
would.
I explained that earlier.
Oh, sorry.
As to how I mean, I haven't got the concrete hard evidence, but when I heard 5 years, I thought, this is odd. But as always, I try to dissect what I believe it's about, because these aren't stupid people. As I've said, we're being owned by a group of some of the richest people in the world. The
Mm.
brain set is not normal.
No,
They
they're
built
wired differently. But
yeah,
well,
they built their wealth on innovation and going and doing things that nobody else will do. So it
mm,
always looks obscure to the average mind when they start, and it's only the end that justifies the means to the average mind. It takes a lot to really understand that these guys are cooking something that is probably genius. In most instances it is. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't fail. Of course they can. But the thing with them is that their bounce back ability to rectify is second to none. So I believe what this is about, it's look, they took the whole FFP PSR situation into consideration, which is everything they're doing with the club now. They are creating a self-sustainable super club. And this is not easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be riddled with ups and downs. And there are going to be decisions that not everybody is going to easily understand. But I think this has taken into consideration FFP, the new PSR rules, which starts in the summer with the 70% not being able to spend more than 70% of your revenue. I think it's a 3-year revenue. I can't remember which, but I'm summarizing.
yeah,
And the one coming up in summer 25, which is the spend cap based on a calculated algorithm of the lowest income
yes, a
in
multiplier.
the Premier League. So
Yeah,
all these are, in summary, financial restrictions. They are going to restrict the club financially, all clubs financially. And if you look at the way football is going, clubs are positioning themselves to operate differently, in that what these financial rules are trying to create is a situation where clubs are harvesting their own players, just like it was in the beginning days, the old days. You grow your own teams and so on. They're sending us back into the farm instead of going to the supermarket to buy food. Now, these guys have looked at this situation. They've said, okay, what we're going to do now going forward is look, we've got the performance related wages for players in place. Yes, we still have stragglers on the big wages that we bought at the beginning of things and that we inherited vis-a-vis the Ziyech's and the Lukaku's and the Kepas of this world, which they're trying to get rid of. And of course, they made the mistakes of people like Sterling, etc. So they know that this is part of their collateral damage. They're trying to offload that, but now they've got their board in place. They've got their sporting directorship in place. Going forward, they want to work on this performance-based income system. So, how does it affect this five-year deal to the new manager? What it is number one, being a new up and coming young hopefully innovative manager, he will not earn as much as your Galacticos vis-a-vis the Pochettinos of this world or anybody else. His primary salary will not be as much. It'll be based on this for performance based increments, and the performance based increments is what brings in revenue anyway. For example, if you finish top 4, for example, that is a Champions League place and you will get Champions League money. So the money to use to pay your increments and bonuses will come through that. You win a cup, you get a bonus through that. You win, what else is there to win? You win maybe 2 cups, you get bonuses through that. And your yearly increment will also be added anyway. So that's how they're doing it. And with every year you remain at the club, your payoff, if the club decide a severance of your contract, is less. So that this is just how I'm trying to analyze what they're doing. I'm not saying this is gospel, but I'm saying this is objective, because we're not dealing with fools here. They're not just going to slap a 5-year contract on somebody and pay them exorbitant sums of money. They're not
right.
doing that anymore. They're changing direction, and it's very clear to see. So another thing is that the entourage of backroom staff that the Galacticos coaches would bring, I think they're trying to trim that. They're trying to have Chelsea-based backroom staff, hence the set piece coach. I think they already have one assistant Chelsea person. I've forgotten who that is. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they're look
Cabareo.
I think I think they're looking at that because a lot of our academy guys. I've noticed there's a new Hussein Sewell, a black guy that takes the under 18 that actually won the under 18 championship with them. They are harvesting people. These people are working really hard. They're doing things that a lot of the times we don't notice. And they're producing Chelsea people of their own in the coaching department, in the playing department, as well as harvesting and buying some of the best world talents in the world to supply to the feeder clubs so that the cream of the crop come into the Chelsea first team on long contracts at not too exorbitant an expense. But if you're in terms of wages, and if as a team, what they're saying is that as a team you earn your big wages. If you perform well enough, you will get big enough money. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
they've given this guy a 5-year contract also to incentivize him. He's shown that he's absolutely adamant to come to Chelsea, which is an attitude I like. He's brave. He's like, no, you've got young players. I know about these players. I feel confident in my ability to stand up to the plate because he's walking into an arena that is one of the biggest footballing arenas in the world. There's no room for failure here. So he's not of any illusion. His career could be made or broken by this move. As the sporting directors, you have to admire their boldness as well because they're putting their heads on the chopping block. They're not just sitting behind a keyboard insulting everybody and calling Clown Lake and all this. No, the club has put the owners have put their money where their mouth is. They are doing something to try and get the club forward. And there's no certainty in anything, but there is, as I've always said, there is a situation where brave men go, where angels fear to tread, and who dares wins. This is how you win. This is how you become great. This is how you create things. So, giving this guy 5 years to incentivize him for his desire to come, to show him how serious we are, but they're not stupid. There is a financial calculation behind it based on the lure of the land. And I think I was with you on another platform earlier, Roger, where I elaborated on the fact that this is where world football is going. It's not by coincidence that Thiago Motta has gone to Juventus, that Vincent Company has gone to Bayern Munich, that Liverpool have got Ernie Slot. We all know what Alonso has done at Bayer Leverkusen, and of course Arteta is older than in terms of being in a job than the rest of them. This is where everyone is going at this moment because of financial regulation, and every payment is calculated. Even the mighty Real Madrid, that earns more in terms of revenue than most other clubs, are trimming down. They brought in Mbappe, as I mentioned earlier, to coach. And the only reason they're really happy to pay him his exorbitant wages is because they didn't have to pay to buy him. They didn't have to pay
Exactly.
a buying fee.
No
And their
transfer
whole
fee.
Yeah, no transfer fee. That's the word, coach. Thanks. And they're holding back on making any more transfers until they decide what to do with Modric and offload his wages if they're going to do that. And definitely Tony Cruz and offload his wages. And then they can bring in somebody because Real Madrid traditionally spend a lot of money. But unlike in the past, they are cutting their cloth. They're being very careful because of all these new stringent rules. Barcelona, they've got rid of Xavi. They're not keen to spend anything right now. They've practically mortgaged themselves with their levers anyway, in terms of relinquishing their what's it, advertising rights. And so they're being very careful. I don't think you're going to see Barca this summer splashing out money like they usually do, unless they're selling. So that's how I see it. I thought about it. At first, I was like, this is a bit odd. I thought about it. I looked at it. I said, no, I believe that what I'm saying cannot, and I don't say that lightly either, cannot be far from the truth.
Right. Thank you so much. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. We'll come back to the panel. We have just a few minutes to round off, except if you guys want to continue with the conversation in my absence, I'm fine with it. Ty is saying I wanted to join the panel to give the president of the Goalkeepers Union a hard time about my phone keeps getting disconnected. No names mentioned, but the person being talked about knows. Probably don't have a majority shareholder at Manchester United. Okay, I'm not well acquainted with that situation. Poch got 2+1, while Maresca got 5+1. But more importantly, the context is how much is he earning per year.
By the
We have,
way, Coach, sorry, and Roger, you guys, can you write to Chelsea Football Club and tell them you've got to send a check to Bobby because he's always tried to state your case and stand your corner. Look, I'm no particular blue co fan, but I'm looking at objectively at what is unraveling here and trying to express it rather than just take the easy route and get frustrated and attack them.
yeah.
So Boli, Ebali, and Feliciano, the check is the bill, and I need you to have your check to me in the post, please.
Yeah, they should. We have again. We're getting closer and closer to 20,000 subscribers. We need about how many in total to get there? We need about 101. Yeah, to
Wow.
get to 20,000 subscribers. I think that will happen probably if we're lucky by the end of the month. Yeah, 95 likes, five more to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. I don't think they believe in him. I take it Maresca is the last buster, possibly. Maybe, or maybe he demanded that they give him a long-term contract to show he to get job security. Yeah, so even if they decide to let him go, then he gets something out of it. But I'm quite sure they probably agreed to give him that much, the contract of that length, because yeah, he's not earning as much as um it's not going to be earning as much as what's the Mauricio Pochettino or Graham Potter. Keep dropping the likes on the shin, people. The likes to go a long way. Pochettino walked away because he didn't feel the love. I know you've talked about that before, but I'm still going to tell you that's just your opinion. We don't know what happened because I remember you talking about something. You could say you talked about something to that effect also a few weeks ago, saying he's acting like he doesn't feel the love, and that I'm inclined to believe that may well be the case, but not for certain. Poch got taken by the Spuzzy in him, cracked under pressure, and that's one I believe. I currently believe in. He probably wasn't able to withstand the pressure from Chelsea fans and the hierarchy maybe. Courtney, so CFC said Potter was not ready for a job that big yet. They are hiring a manager who has no experience. You can't say he doesn't have Premier League experience. It just doesn't. That argument I don't agree with. I don't want to say it doesn't make sense so you don't see it as me disrespecting you. He won the treble with Manchester City, and you cannot tell me Pep had him as his as his second or maybe whatever rank it was at the time without him not having anything to offer. Pep is a perfectionist, and for him to have accepted him, I think he probably had a lot to offer. You don't know. So I don't believe he doesn't have Premier League experience. He has Premier League experience. Yeah, if anything, European experience too. I think it's just people just not maybe just don't like him, and when you don't like somebody that much, I think that dislike will cloud your judgment, and probably you're not gonna see things objectively. They No, we're not. Just go away. Good day, everyone. Kachila. I just didn't agree with what he has there, and I explained why I didn't agree that was the case. But he tried his best to convince me that what he had in the comment section is the case, and I disagree. It's simple. Kachila and the rest of the panel, big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. And the CEO of Chelsea FC Jengis is in the house. So Poch walked out. He walked out mainly because of conditions. So there are theories out there. There are theories out there. You only believe what you believe is the case. How does it winning the treble under City not count as Premier League? I don't know. That's the question I'm asking people
No,
because if
experience as a head coach is a difference.
no, I know, but still, he was part of it. He part of the decision
Yeah,
making.
but
Yeah,
there's a big difference between being the number one chap and being an assistant. There's a
I
massive
understand, Roger.
difference.
Pep
And
had
it's
the final say, right?
and it's reflected in the pay scale also. There's a reason why, coach.
Yeah, but let's talk about this, Roger. He had the say in the decision making process, didn't he? And we can't say because he wasn't
And
the number one.
evaluation, sure.
Yeah, but he still the Premier League still counts as one of the trophies he's won.
Yeah, but not as
Am
a
I
head
wrong?
coach. But not as a head coach. There's
No,
a
that's it.
big,
I know that point, but still, he must have learned a thing or two
well,
being part of
obviously,
the staff that won that
right, obviously, but there's a big difference. That's what I'm
because he
trying to
wasn't the head
impart.
coach, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're comparing apples with oranges. Yes, he has experience playing, coaching in the sport of football, no doubt about it. But not at A, the highest level, and B, as the number one person. Whether you want to call it being a manager or a head coach, there's just massive differences. There just is. It's like
Yeah.
in American football, you're an offensive, defensive, or special teams coordinator, but you're not the head coach. It's a massive difference.
No, I understand, but my point is he learned something.
Oh,
Today,
of
I
course,
agree with
he
you.
wouldn't be
You're quite
hired
correct.
otherwise
Yeah,
if he didn't have a knowledge base. But as
yeah.
I
Pep
said,
wouldn't even have him in his staff
right.
if he had nothing to contribute.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
there's
think
a
he'd be part of
baseline, isn't there? But I'm
Sorry.
just saying that, yeah, there's got to be a baseline, right? You've got to have a knowledge baseline, and
Mhm.
like coaching badges, etc. You have to be competent. But to say he's got experience, not as a head coach, I mean, it's very different, coach.
No, I didn't say. Remember, I didn't say specifically.
No,
I
I
say
know,
he learned. Let me just simplify. He learned something there, which you could,
sure,
which also qualifies as experience.
but you know what
But
though?
to be
When
more
you're
specific, he wasn't the head coach.
Yeah, and what comes with that? What's the difference? Is the pressure also? When you're either making decisions or giving input to the head coach, the pressure isn't on you. But when the pressure is on you as a manager slash head coach, your decision making process can be affected. You're under a
Yeah,
completely different um, levels of pressure. It's
yeah. The main guy is the one that bears the pressure.
yeah, it's massive. It's chalk and
Yeah.
cheese, night and day, etc.
Because you don't hear the truth remains you don't hear that Maresca was fired. Had Pep been fired at the time, you will not be hearing that Maresca was fired. It will always be Pep was fired.
Yeah,
But I get your point. But I'm just making it clear that it doesn't make sense to argue that he has no experience. Yeah. But if the argument is he has no experience, has forced him a first team coach in the Premier League, then more specific, then I say yes. But if the argument is if there's somebody comes with the argument he has no experience in the Premier League, I'd say no. It just doesn't make sense. I
yeah,
know we all can agree
but there's a big difference,
yeah.
coach.
I agree.
I'd rather have someone experienced as a head coach in a different league than have being a number two or number three guy in the Premier League because it's a different job description completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
And Roger, remember, I haven't said that he's the man for the job. I'm certain he's the man for the job because he had his garnered experience as number two to Pep Guardiola. No, I haven't said that. I'm still pained, but I have no option than to support my club. So
Yeah,
we're actually saying the same thing, but you're emphasizing the difference of being the head coach and being the number two. And I
massive
understand. I think we
difference.
agree.
Yeah, it's just listen. I have, as I said, I have no preconceived notions of him. To me, he has a blank slate. Um, I don't have any biases for or against him. I want to see what he can do, and then I
Yeah,
will base my
yeah.
decisions.
I mean, I know you would defend him for like a lot of times.
No, here's the deal, though. I believe in a manager slash head coach being given a credible amount of time to impart, his footballing philosophy and what he needs to do. It takes time, it just does. But now, as I've said a million times here, we're to too eager to pull that trigger just to cancel it after 10, 20 games. It's just, as I said, a lot of these great managers in the past would not be able to succeed in today's culture because they're not given that luxury, that time.
Yeah, they want. Just give me a few minutes. Let me catch up what we have in the chat. If you guys want to continue with the conversation, it's up to you. But I'm quite sure it's not going to work because Bobby probably will have to go for his treatment. Need one more like just to get it to 100. We're getting closer and closer to 20,000 subscribers. We're at 19,901 subscribers. So we got So we not
Coach,
100, 99 more, and I
when I
think that
first
can happen.
when I
Sorry.
first joined your show, it was 6,000 just getting to 7,000. Wow.
Yep. You've been an OG here, Roger. And
Wow.
here's one thing. If you're on the panel, every time I say how many subscribers we have, you always go, wow.
Yeah,
You appreciate how far we've gone and how people enjoying the community, and we continue to grow. Rich Money Makers, nice to see you, Rich Money Makers. I'm gonna get to the very bottom as soon as possible here. Kim, so you know the drill there. We're still asking the question. A big up legend vehicle, Rich Money Maker saying hello. Maresca will bring football back because today, instead of that, a treadmill match. Wow, a lethal striker. Instead of that, I'm now reading it. We see chances are he'd prefer Jackson over signing a traditional striker. We have 3 bald managers in the Premier League now: Pep and a Slot. I was asking, is he bald-headed?
Yeah.
Okay. And Maresca, if Ten Hag stays, we have 4 in total, but I doubt he stays. I think he didn't control himself after winning an FA Cup, something like he's won them the Champions League, the Europa League, and he's won them 10 cups. It was just 2. He's won just 2 for them. He should have controlled his emotions there. It's looking like he will most likely leave. They're not bald. They are
follically challenged.
I'm not going to hell with you guys, and I'm serious about that. I'm gonna make sure Port sympathizes in the mud. Houston, I'm not gonna talk about Port much again. Big up to you, to Rich Money Makers. Anything to address? I'm gonna skip a few comments here. Apologies, guys. I don't have time. Being bored by choice. Your head not growing at different. You guys should enjoy that conversation and leave me out of it. Bobby turning into those YouTube motivational speakers. I like that. It will go a long way. I couldn't agree more with you, Bobby. Your narrative and analysis all together come quite deliciously. Wow. That's our language. They're delicious. So let me see. I'll skip past quite a lot of comments there. Apologies, I can't get everybody's comment. Hello, good day to you too, Blue Family. I told you yesterday, Enzo is here. We go. Thank you so much for reminding us, and I believe you. And Vicky saying that Chelsea feel they have got an incredible manager. The owners have always looked to the early days of Arteta and the patience shown to him, and have even watched Amazon All or Nothing documentary. How do I think this is absolute horse dunk? If you leave out the Amazon Prime version, I'd say it's believable, but that part makes me feel like it's absolute horse dunk. And and that is just me. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion anyway. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Good afternoon, people. I think I saw one comment from Bobby. I want to read it and call it a day. I have to go help my boys get ready for school. Big up to you, bro. Much love to you. Always nice to see you. There's one comment you had there that you asked the question that I'm looking for. He says, even if Poch resigned, Chelsea had to pay him. That's the truth. Pay him compensation. Reporting confirmed it was 10 million. Okay. There's no PSR angle to hiring this championship manager, but that's not to say he will not do well. I know you know that, but it's a risk, and we're all concerned. What do you have in your coffee? I'm not gonna tell you. Yep, you're entitled to your opinion. That's the truth. Yeah, we all are, and hopefully we stop taking things personal. Again, everybody's opinion matters. And with that, people, apologies. We've come to the natural end of the show. Bobby, anything else you want to say before we say goodbye? I can't get everybody's comment. I enjoy interacting with you, and I'm quite sure you all know that. But unfortunately, that's it for me today. And I'm still searching for a co-host, Ken. And Constantine Dante's family are back from they traveled somewhere I'm not going to mention, so he's going to be a busy guy right now. But hopefully, we'll find somebody that will always be there to take over. Bobby, if you have anything else to say, please quickly, so we can call it a day.
Yeah, we've covered the current points. We wait for the signature of the new manager, which shouldn't be too far away, and hopefully, pray that this has become the right move for the club.
Yeah, and we should just, irrespective of whether you like the hiring or not, I think we should just support him. And with that, I want to say thank you to my Bass 05 of my Omar Dunk, Letness is Greatness, Rich Money Makers, and Chimera. All of you in the chat, Jump Out Entertainment, Supreme Quads, very related. You have no discipline there. My Bass 05, my Iraqi bro, Chimera, the PR person of the H place. All of you, Laban Omondi, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. I think that's your first time here. All of you in the chat, Gabriel. And very soon, there will be no school, so we can always go as long as we want. So don't worry too much. And chances are we'll do a show later in the day. It depends on what's going on. And Vic, my bro, is also in the house. And my other bro here, Tamita Oluwarekami. If I missed your name, Courtney also was in the house. I will be here 6 months into the season to hear if all these mediocrity and fancy speech about a championship manager will be the same. And I urge you that if in that when we get to that time, he's doing well, give him credit and apologize. With that, we've come to the natural end of the show. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got